Hello, hello everybody. Hello, let's continue with our second virtual conferences streaming here from La Paz, Bolivia, from the CBA. Now we have with us our dear colleague Rosario Condori, who's going to be telling us about the ways to apply for scholarship and what to do whenever we want to apply for a university as well. Okay, let me introduce a little bit Rosario. Rosario has studied education at La Salle University, and she has successfully graduated from there, obtained her certificate of proficiency of English from the University of Michigan. She has been working at the CBA since 2006, and she has taught all the courses, including adults, children's, teenagers, and so on. Right? She has been a presenter in different conferences like the NTIS, yeah, using NTIS, NTICS. Am I right, Rosario?
Yes.
Okay, super. So that is it. Okay, we are all yours, Rosario. So thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thank you very much, Mariela. Thank you very much, dear students. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. And well, I would like to share a topic with you, which
Sorry,
is
sorry.
about, yes, which is about, applying for scholarships, right? And
Mhm.
the ways we should do that, okay?
Super.
Let me start. Okay. So, what do universities look for when you apply for a scholarship? Well, guys, there is a question that comes to my mind whenever I say this. What thoughts do we generally have once we finish studying at school? Okay, maybe Mariela can read some of the answers we have from there.
I'm trying to see some of them.
Yeah.
Maybe you can ask the question one more time, please, Rosario.
Yes, the one that we see on the screen. What thoughts do we generally have once we finish studying at school? As you can see here, I have a group of La Salle students where I used to work as well. And well, this is what inspired me, to bring this topic to our students because I had so many different experiences with them, and well, going from not knowing what to study from and to deciding what they should pursue in life. So I don't know if there are any answers.
Not yet. We don't have any. But maybe the objective, whenever we want, when we finish school, is to study in one of the best universities
Exactly.
here, right? And even more if we want to study outside from our country.
Yeah, that's a dream that most students have, right? As all of them want to work, in international companies, or they want to make a lot of money, or sometimes as well they are pushed by parents to look for the best options for themselves, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Then here I have one more question. Do we really think about those skills, talents, and knowledge we have acquired those 12 years studying at school? What do I mean? For example, as you can see here, I have one student who's got this artistic intelligence. This is a CBA student, as you can see. She was explaining, for example, the members of her family via drawings, right? And as you can see, she was very talented because she didn't copy these, right? These were her own ideas. And what's more, she was portraying how the people behave in their family according to the way she was drawing there, right? So, for example, that is one skill she developed, right? And I have this question. Do you think this will help you in the future, or it's just something you just do like for fun and you don't think that will help you in the future or not? What do you think, guys? I don't know if there are any answers as well to this question. Really? Okay, let's continue. For example, here, guys, these are religious institutions. For example, this is one picture I took from this Movimiento Juvenil Salesiano, where all the students, well, not all the students, the ones who want to volunteer, go into leadership. Let's say they call it Escuela de Líderes. So they learn to work with different kind of people, not only children but also teenagers, people from their age, right? And they learn to be, let's say, active all the time. They learn to take advantage of their free time, and they are of course fulfilled with lots of values, right? Well, and there are many religious institutions that do this as well, with different members from schools, from their own religious institutions and so on, right? Then, well, that was my question, like, will extracurricular activities I engaged in help me find a scholarship overseas, right? For example, here as well, we have some other extracurricular activities. Um, as most of our students love playing sports, they engage on these teams, right? Or they enter to these schools. They also apply to be part of any club, right? And here we have, for example, other students who play chess very well. They get medals, they get caps for our country. And how about art? There are people who have this skill of performing in front of a public, right? Others can also paint very well and portray their skills via this. Why am I referring to this? These are specifically extracurricular activities that students at very young ages engage in at school, at clubs, wherever they want, right? So, do they help? Well, let's see. So, what is taken into account at the moment one applies for a scholarship? Well, what do you think, guys? Are there any answers? What do you think is the most common thing that is taken into account at the moment you, brand new student, apply for a scholarship?
Hmm. There are no comments. There is only, it's hard to make a living like an artist, probably taking
Okay.
information before, but
Yeah,
probably it is the amount of money you gotta pay.
exactly as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, and of course, it depends a lot. I was expecting this answer from students because of my own experience as well. Is that you have to get the highest scores at school, of course, right? But but now scholarships do not only focus on this. Of course, it's one of the requirements, but it depends on the country you are applying and so on. Okay, so what is a scholarship? Keep this in mind, please, because a scholarship is free money given to students to pay for college, right? It's not like, oh, I am like the best of my school and I do deserve this. No, you have to keep that in mind, because as it's money, the first thing that you have to be responsible for is the money you will be given, first to pay the tuitions, to pay, it depends, right? To pay also for housing, also to pay for your food and everything, right? That's why it's not easy to just give up on a scholarship, because there are conditions that say that if you give up on a scholarship, you have to return that money. As you can read here, it's money. So let's bear that in mind, okay? Then, some students win scholarships for their academic performances, right? What I was telling you. For example, in most universities, they ask for 80% or higher, yes, according to the area you are going to make your studies, right? On then they are also others are awarded as well based on financial need, right? Before applying for scholarships, check all of the requirements for a scholarship to ensure you are qualified, right? The more qualified you are for a scholarship, the better chances of actually winning, because there is a kind of competition, right, in order to get the scholarship. Well, let's talk about the kinds of scholarships. First, the one that most students love, the scholarships with no requirements, right? Well, sorry. Okay. The scholarships with no requirements, it's just to apply and to have a form there is a form in the websites, in the universities. You just have to write the information about yourself, about your studies, the kind of person you are, and well, you have to hope for the best. And then we have the scholarships with academic requirements. There are many scholarships with academic requirements. This means that the grade point average or and test scores are the main requirement to win the scholarship. What I was telling you just a few minutes ago, right? The majority of these academic scholarships require students to hold a high GPA, which I said before, grade point average. And there are a few scholarships that award students for less than stellar academic performances. Yes, as they make sometimes exceptions, because this money is of course going to be used on the scholarships of different students, or the scholarship that different students will apply for, right? Some students win scholarships for their academic performances, others are awarded based on their financial needs, right? Okay, when students apply to academic scholarships, they often have to show proof of their achievement in their classrooms, right? So that means if you are going to show an excellent performance you had here in Bolivia, then there, of course, you will have to show you are studious, you are going to present your assignments on time, you are going to be participating. Why? Because that is something that we should take into account. Whenever scholarships are granted, it's because they want to see as well the kind of education you bring from your country, right? So that means that you have to also show the culture and the ways you learned and the ways you achieved something here. It's not like just saying, well, I am a brain and I can do this by just taking the test. No, you have to show the kind of person you are, right? Sometimes, well, when you have to also to show the scores you've gotten at school or university, you may be required to send a transcript of your test scores, right? Well, here in Bolivia, we have institutions that make those kinds of translations so that they can be sent to the corresponding university you are going to apply to, right? Then other times, students may need to include an essay in their scholarship application. Be careful with this essay, because here at the CBA, for example, we teach you how to write paragraphs, essays, and stuff. And we have to be careful to follow all the guidelines before writing one. And we have to be careful with what we are writing there, because sometimes they will ask you, for example, to describe a normal day at school or at the university, right? If you write that you get very moody when your classmates don't help you with the, let's say, with the assignments you had at school or university, then once they read your paper, they're going to say, no, this kind of person may not be very tolerant with the classmates he is going to have here, right? So we have to be careful with that. Okay, then the application pool for scholarships with academic requirements is smaller, partly because of those stricter requirements, but also because there is more work entitled in the actual application process. Okay, then what I was telling you at the beginning, 12 years have past, and I've done many extracurricular activities at school. I helped, let's say, in the sorry, okay, I was part of a team of basketball, volleyball, soccer. Then I helped in plays. I was like a director for my classmates. I used to be the leader of many activities we did there. I used to love painting and drawing. Well, will that help me? Yes, it will, right? Students can also find scholarships with extracurricular requirements. These are scholarships awarded to students for specific organizations of which they are part. Extracurricular activities range from athletic teams to academic organizations to school clubs, right? Then you may understand why some students get very excited at the thought of having been part of clubs or teams, right? Then scholarships with extracurricular requirements require proof that the students are involved in that particular organization, right? The coaches, for example, have to write recommendation letters, which will be signed telling the kind of a student or the kind of person you are before sending this kind of recommendation, right? So that's why they ask you to get those recommendations from directors, from your teachers, right? Somebody who can sign a paper and say this is the kind of a student we have, right? Somebody who loves taking challenges, who helps all the time, and so on. That has to be with this exchange, and what you are going to show to your classmates in the future, of course, or in that international university. Well, we have some requirements for scholarships after you win. Let's imagine that everything went well, you were given the chance to get the scholarships, right? Not only are there requirements for scholarships before you apply, but there are also requirements for scholarships after you win, right? The requirements for a scholarship after you win typically involve getting good scores, as it says, continuing to demonstrate financial need, or staying involved in an extracurricular sport or organization. That means if you demonstrated that you are very good at dancing, you will still have to show there that you are good at dancing or playing any sport. Then scholarships with extracurricular requirements require proof that the students are involved in that particular organization. Often the letter of recommendation is required, as I said before. And well, scholarships can be awarded every year that the student is in college, or they can be awarded for just 1 year, right? So if you demonstrated you are a good student, of course you will receive the congratulation letters from the deans, from directors, and they can grant you 1 more year. Or there are, of course, some scholarships that cover the complete career, but you have to show proof of what you said at the beginning, right? Then, before applying, students should read the fine print on how much is being awarded. Yes, that's what I meant. Like how much money you will receive the first year and what will happen the other years. They should also review the requirements for a scholarship after winning to ensure that they can maintain good standing in order to keep the scholarship. Well, well, then I am a curious teacher, all right? We should consider finding information from students who have already gotten a scholarship. I found some TikTokers. I don't know if you know this girl, Adrina Beat. She got a scholarship last year. She was in USA. I really liked her TikTok, let's say, videos, because she shows you the step by step, right? She tells you how she made it. The good thing of her is that she was also a CBA student, and she got it, right? She learned about the culture as well in the States, and she tells you what to expect there and how to respect other cultures as well. She's always positive. She's never negative about all of the experiences she's got from her university. Plus, of course, she will tell you about the TOEFL test. Sorry, I was about to forget to tell you about that, and how to get a good score, let's say, because she shows you places, also websites where you can study for this TOEFL test. And of course, if the university asks for other kind of tests, she also tells you, right? She studied something related to math, as far as I remember. And well, the good thing of her is that she will also tell you that those extracurricular activities you did at school will help you a lot, because she did a lot of extracurricular activities, and that's why she was given as well the chance to get a scholarship. Then I have this Anani. She studied for a master's degree there in Korea. She also has a TikTok, and she explains how to get a scholarship there. As far as I understand, there in that country, and the scholarships are for the 2 years that you will be studying in there, right? Also considering the time when you will have to write your thesis and to defend it and so on. That's what I like from them. They are Bolivian people, right? So we should visit their TikTok channels. And I found this other one, Luciana Rivera. She got a scholarship, right? Because she was guided and supervised by the NASA. As you can see, if we dream high, we can get our dreams come true. According to the information I read about her, is that she was part of a program with another Bolivian girl as well, and they gathered different students from different parts of the world. So they had to present specific papers, and they had to present the ways to achieve the things they were supposed to, right? So we can dream high, and we can always get what we want, right? And well, I don't know if there are any questions, Mariela, from our students.
No, there aren't. Yet I think that they are paying attention to what you're saying very closely. Maybe at the end.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So well, this is what I can tell you about scholarships. And of course, you may ask, and teacher, how about our local offers, right? Here in Bolivia, we have this place, right, where you will always find these scholarships offers, right? Well, I've been reading these years, well, from this year, that most of them, as you can see here, are online, right? They offer from careers to small courses, and they tell you the country they come from, right? Well, this is the last publication they made. So we should often visit these kind of websites. Of course, we should also visit the websites of our universities, even if they are public or private. They always have this kind of offers. And of course, you can apply for a scholarship tuition in your own school or university and so on. And well, here is the TikTok I was telling you about, of this one who went to get a master's degree in Korea, and Adrina, who got a nice scholarship in USA. and she will explain how to do it step by step. I don't know if you have any questions, guys. I'll be more than glad to answer the questions.
Not yet, but maybe, I don't know, what would be the first stage that a student that would like to get a scholarship has to follow?
The very first step, yeah, they have
Yeah.
to decide which career they want to study, and of course
Mhm.
they have to look for the opportunities in different countries. I always told my students, for example, they used to tell me about one specific country they wanted to travel to, but I used
Mhm.
to tell them, why are you blinding yourself on just one country? And nowadays they chat with me and they tell me, teacher, you were right, this other country also gave me lots of opportunities. And well, because if they are just blinded by just studying only in one specific part, then they
Mhm.
are not going to open their eyes to study in other countries and in other universities, which will offer as well good opportunities to them.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Rosario.
I don't know if there are any questions coming from our students.
Um, no, not really. Not yet. Not yet.
Well, so then before I finish this presentation, take into account that scholarships do not only mean that we have to travel somewhere, right? Start thinking about your place here as well, Bolivia, as the very first place where you can learn what a scholarship means, right? For example,
Mhm.
at schools, universities, they give you scholarships because of your good scores.
Good.
Also,
Mhm.
there are scholarships for being professor's assistants, teacher's assistants, or for helping with the any kind of academic activity you do, and so on. So, in this way, you will learn to be serious with the scholarship you are granted, and
Mhm.
then you will think bigger, and well, you will
Mhm.
think big, and you will get more opportunities in other countries.
Cool. Now students are start writing about questions. Sebastian says, can you share the link of the web page you're
Sure,
talking
sure.
about? Probably. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. It's
Um.
of the government, right?
That must be the one. It says
Yeah.
Stephanie says, are there programs or courses to decide on a career?
Well, as teacher Mariela said, before deciding on a career, let me be honest, from the studies I made as an educator, it's not just one test that will decide the kind of career you have to study. I worked with students from different schools, and I had to, let's say, study these students' behavior, as well as for their skills for 1 year, right? We, of course, we have to take tests, we have to administer tests to them, but we also have to see the kind of person they are, the goals they have in life. And well, my advice would be, don't let only one test tell you what to study, because most of the teachers of your school, for example, know you for years. Some of you study in the same school for 12 years, 6 years, 4. And well, one of the teachers can tell you, yes, you are very good at maths, you are good at physics, arts, and all of them. And well, that can help you a lot more than just one test. In my experience, I administered near 35 tests before telling my students what to study, because if you just say, okay, you are good for engineering, then what if the person had another alternative like medicine? I don't know, right? We have to be serious with the student before counseling them. Yes. Uh, um, sorry, I cannot listen to you, Mariela.
Sorry, sorry. Sorry, sorry. Thank you very much. Marilu says, in which pages can we look for these scholarships?
Well, you just Google them. I sent one of the links here to our teacher Mariela, and I will send some other links here as well.
Okay.
And I would advise, for example, visiting the Facebook of the USA Embassy. There are other scholarships that, for example, come from Europe, the Chevening one. Well, all of the embassies have Facebook, and they actually post. They post a lot of offers, academic offers.
Okay. Oh, this is an interesting question. Alex says, what are the most required countries to study?
Oh, well, as you can see, top one is United States. Yes, most students want to go there. And well, for science, Japan is the top one, right? Where you can study for, it depends on what you want to study for medicine and so on.
Adriana says, are there scholarships available to study a master's degree or studies after finishing university?
Yes. There are many, Adriana. You just have to Google them. Of course, they will ask you to have a certain average score, and well, to as well, some of the universities ask to show the thesis, the topic you developed, and well, there are many.
Then we have Rosillo. In which platforms and universities do you offer these scholarships?
Well, you can visit, for example, the universities. Once you make research, for example, Harvard University publishes the scholarships they have. It depends, Singapore University. It depends on the kind of area you are going to engage in. It depends on that.
Okay. Janine says, in the case of extracurricular activities, which are the most relevant? Because here in Bolivia, there are no different activities in some schools as in other countries. Only ballet, college bands.
And yes, you are right. Well, for example, a lot of extracurricular activities can be considered like sports, right? I told you about the religious ones. For example, it depends on the school. They have specifically, let's say, kind of schools for the students. You know that maybe some of you are part of the pastorales, some of you are part of some kind of groups of the schools. Also, if you know, for example, how to cook, there are different ways. Well, one of my recommendations would be to start asking your school to provide you with more extracurricular activities, right? But it depends, of course, on you and the things your schools do.
Okay. Pablo says, is there any age limit to study overseas?
Yes. For example, if you are pursuing a career, the limit from what I read are like, let's say 18 to 35 years old. For the masters, 40, and for a PhD, I read 40 something as well. So yes, there are limits of age, depending, of course, on the career. And well, let's not just say no, because it depends on the careers, on the universities, and on the countries as well.
Okay, so basically those are the questions we have.
Okay, thank you very much, dear students. Well, if you need any help, you know where to find us. We are always at the CBA, and well, you have our numbers, you have our WhatsApp.
Exactly. You can come and visit and find out more information about it. Thank you very much, Rosario. Thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you for sharing this very crucial information with our students. I think that most of them are here because they are interested in getting a scholarship there. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you. And well, keep on fighting. You can always make your dreams come true.
Thank you, thank you. See you next in our next academic conferences again. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.